I'm Elizabeth, and I'm here with Cole Benjamin, the Sargon of God.
Hello.
At the Britain. How are you doing today?
I'm a bit hungover, but otherwise I'm doing very well, thank you.
That's great. So what's your speech about today?
Metaphor versus anti-metaphor. Bit too much to explain in a very short interview, I'm afraid. But hopefully it'll explain why some things align with other things that otherwise would be inexplicable. On paper, it's kind of hard to see why Jeremy Corbyn is forbidden from the Labour Party, even though Keir Starmer endorsed him. And on at least domestic issues, obviously the Israel-Palestine question, they're going to come to a different answer. But on every domestic issue, they're basically the same, and they would implement the same policies. And yet Corbyn is never allowed into the Labour Party. Now, it's done under the auspice of anti-Semitism, but I don't think that Corbyn's actually an anti-Semite. I think it's for other reasons, metaphorical reasons.
And what message from the speech would you give to the audience watching?
It's not really a message speech. It's more here's a lens that we can look at certain issues through, and if we do, then we get hopefully greater understanding of what forces are actually in play. But basically, anyone who wants to reduce anything to just, I think, is a real problem. I'm very tired of the tyranny of just. Oh, it's just your country, bro. It's just your money that you're being taxed. It's just a million immigrants wandering around your country every year who've been brought in. A city the size of Birmingham's brought in. It's just. And nothing is just. Actually, everything is interconnected, not only to everything else around it, but to the past and the future. And these things are all just a part of a giant metaphysical continuum that goes back right to the mist of time that is actually unbroken. Did you know that you carry 10% on your genes on average will be from the Stone Age hunter-gatherers that predate agriculture in Britain? Mm-hmm. So you're carrying them forward into the future. And so it's just, nothing's just anything. Everything's actually an insanely complicated web of deeply meaningful events that we reduce at our peril, frankly.
What do you think of the Britain?
Oh, I think it's fantastic. It's the most high-minded right-wing conference in Britain. People are genuinely beginning to sort of step over the obstacles of the left and their narrative uncertainty, and people are coming to the understanding how no, we are actually morally in the right, and we can at this point stop justifying ourselves. We know why we're doing the things we're doing, and we know that we're doing the right thing for the right reasons, and we will get the right outcomes from that. So what even argument is there to be had with some person who thinks that everyone is the same and there's no difference between us, there's no difference between Islamic values and British values, or that men can become women, and all these other nonsense things that they're trying to make us accept through the tyranny of, oh, it's just this material thing. But nothing is just a material thing. Everything has a lot attached to it, a history attached to it.
Who do you think would win in the fight, Edward Dutton or Academic Agent?
Well, I mean, Dutton has like cerebral palsy or something. So, I mean, I loathe to give it to Dr. Parvini, but I think he'd win that one.
One last question. So it's been 10 years since Gamergate. I want to ask, do you ever get fed up with people asking you about Gamergate?
No, people don't really bring it up to me that much, to be honest.
No, yeah.
I don't know why. I mean, it's people don't really bring it up all that much. I find I actually still have a Google alert for Gamergate set up on my Google account, and so every day I'll get an email about, here's where Gamergate's mentioned, and it's the mainstream media that is just pathologically obsessed with it. It was their Vietnam. I'm genuinely serious about that. They're very, very upset that there was a large number of people who had the temerity to just tell them to get stuffed. And like I said, every single day there's more articles written about it, and they're just angry still.
I was 14 when Gamergate happened, right. Well, yeah, and it was the Vietnam for my generation. Before 2014, video games used to be so great.
Yeah, they were pretty good. It's more the atmosphere was just a lot more relaxed, and when the left comes into any environment, they politicize it, which makes it more rigid and less accepting, and therefore it ends up shrinking because people are like, well, I don't enjoy the environment, I'm just going to leave, even if they don't agree or disagree with the politics. It becomes toxic. They toxify anything they touch. And I think that people on the right have worked this out and said, hang on, we don't toxify anything. That's the point. We actually create a sort of fair environment where everyone can have an equal shake, or the shake they deserve. Some people are obviously better at others than certain things, so everyone's at a different level in every different environment. If I moved into one of your areas of expertise, I'd be right at the bottom because I wouldn't know anything about it. And if you moved into mine, you might be lower because you might not know about mine. And whenever we're in different spaces, we're always at different levels of these things, and it's totally natural. And it becomes really artificial to like equalize things and artificially advantage others, and therefore you have to detract from someone else unfairly who deserves to be where they are. And because this creates a kind of natural equilibrium in any environment, and you don't need anyone patrolling it, it happens automatically. And so this is why it becomes toxified. And if you just let people act normally, then everyone actually just likes the way things are.
For the audience, why should they come to next year? Why should they buy their ticket?
They shouldn't. It should be incredibly exclusive. You're probably not good enough for a ticket. However, if you get reading, get working hard, then maybe next year you will be worthy of it, and maybe you'll be accepted.
Would you rather have this comes from Jess Gill, by the way, would you rather have a gay son or a thought daughter?
Or
a thought daughter.
Thought daughter.
Why?
Because my gay son won't have grandchildren. My thought daughter may well have dozens of grandchildren. I won't be proud of the fact that she's a thought, but I would like to have dozens of grandchildren.